Hello.
Then. Now.
Countdown to the queens.
Episode number 500.
Forever.
Looks like hell froze over.
Without any more further ado,
Together.
let's jump straight into the show. Hello, welcome to episode number, I believe it's 167 of the TEW IX Challenge Run. We're here for Raw on June 16th, 2025. And yes, it is the go-home show for Bad Blood. We're here in the Allstate Arena in Chicago. Our main event, following his return last week, Seth Rollins is back in action. He'll face off with Bronson Steiner in the main event here tonight. Plus, Meat Mountain, the 5-way for the US title, opens up the show. We also have Adam Cole taking on Ludwig Kaiser. We have what was the other match I announced? The tag match. Lay Cool back for one night only against Jada Parker and Jade Cargill. And a whole lot more. So any more further ado, let's jump straight into the show. Yeah, we kick off with a video package. We get the shots of everything at the start of the show. And then we cut to a hype video for our opening match. It's been brewing for a number of weeks now. 5 big men, 1 championship. Who will be the United States champion? Will it still be the champion Obafemi? Or will it be Damian Priest, Bronson Reed, Angelo Dawkins, or Duke Hudson? Meat Mountain, I believe I called it, has begun. 80? Sure, I'll take that. There's a mixed match of ratings in here. Oba gets an 82, a 64 for Duke, 83 for Dawkins, 81 for Bronson Reed, 76 for Damian Priest. And, there's all big meaty spots. The ring is obviously reinforced for this, because it broke with just Bronson Reed and Obafemi before WrestleMania. So obviously we reinforce it and we add 3 other big guys to the match. But of course, line up as many challengers as you want. It doesn't matter. Because the ruler stands tall. He pins Duke Hudson with the fall from grace in 18 minutes and 13 to make defense number 4 of the United States Championship. Yeah, I just went over the ratings now. And Oba, he stands tall with the title. He survives Meat Mountain in a war. And he grabs the microphone after the match and he goes, "What you just saw was everything that I said was going to happen. The ruler is the most dominant man here on Monday Night Raw. Undefeated since my arrival in WWE. You sent man after man, behemoth after behemoth at me, and sooner or later they all fall down. Because there's nobody that can get their hands on my championship, man or not." That's when Raven puts up on the Titantron. You haven't seen Raven physically in a while. I know I brought him back, but he sort of vanished again when they were doing Church of Rollins stuff. But he probably goes, "Oba, Oba, you're a tricky one to figure out. You call yourself the ruler because you dominate everywhere you go. But one thing is for sure. Once me and my guys set our sights on something, we don't let go." And he turns around. Damian Priest is back on his feet. He's got an extra vengeance in his eyes now. And he grabs Oba. He chokeslams Obafemi into the mat. The ring shakes. Damian Priest lets out a roar. He picks up the championship, poses with the US title. And yeah, seemingly Raven now back by the side of Damian Priest and letting Obafemi know this isn't over. There's one more match, surely, between the two of them. Then we got backstage to Bayley and Lyra. And Lyra comes up to her and goes, "Bayley, thought about what I said last week?" She goes, "Yeah, it's weird. I've never felt like so many people are trying to, appease me. I know I felt so important in so many years here in this company. Everywhere I turn, there's people telling me what I should and shouldn't do, and I think I've just got to start believing in myself. Larry goes, of course, you just got to. He goes, wait, what do you mean? Everywhere you turn. She goes, well, I've got you trying to get me involved in your stuff, and then obviously I got Kelly and Billy in my ear telling me not to trust you, and history shows that I shouldn't trust Cora and Roxy. She goes, whoa, rewind. Talk to Kelly and Billy? She goes, yeah. They came out to me 2 weeks ago and, said don't trust you and to not believe in this Nexus stuff. Of course. Of course they did. You know what, Bailey? I believe in you. I believe in your ability to make the right decision. So, you can do your own thing tonight. I've got to go find some people. She walks off. We then see Bianca and Jakara Jackson backstage. Jakara's in her gear. She's warming up because later on tonight we have a 4-way match. It is, for lack of a better term, the B team of the 4-way tag match at Bad Blood. So it will be Jakara Jackson, Cora Jade, Mariah May, and Ariana Grace in that 4-way. And so yeah, Bianca's, with Jakara, and Charlotte and Ariana walk up. She goes, no, listen, B, I'm not here to cause a scene. I'm actually here to congratulate you on last week. I know I shook your hand last week and showed you respect. But this Saturday night, we're going to be enemies once again, but it's not going to be for that championship, it's going to be for the Women's Tag Team Championships. And I thought that maybe it was time for Charlotte Flair to get back into the championship picture here, because quite frankly, I saw the change over your shoulder and I was getting a little bit emotional. I was getting a little bit, angry at myself and where I currently am. But last week proved to me that right now you are the one who deserves to be the WWE Women's Champion, not me. Bianca goes, yeah, thanks for that, Charlotte, but make one thing be known. Saturday night, just because I've got this doesn't mean I don't want the tag championships too, okay? Because I've got my championship, my girl can get herself a championship too. So if I've got to beat you once again on Saturday night, that's what I'll have to do. Because I look forward to it. And then Bianca and Jakara walk off, and Ariana sort of goes, not like pat Charlotte on the arm, and goes, what about us, Charlie? She goes, what? She goes, Saturday night we're going to win, and if we don't win, what's next for you? She goes, well, I guess I've got to start somewhere. Because I said I would become champion here on Monday Night Raw. And options, they may be running thin. Get a Chris Jericho video package. Just a Jericho career retrospective, because he's back to being Jericho again. And he's going to be back in action against Lexis King coming up next. And this is just reminding you who he is. He's not the silly Chris Jericho we brought back now. He's back for one last run. Him and Cena and AJ and Bryan and all these people sort of wrapping it up. We're sort of finally getting to the point where we're going to start moving some of these people on. So, yeah. Jericho, he faces off against Lexis King up next. 73? Actually, probably better than I expected for that. Because it's fucking Chris Jericho, who's... I don't think he's as over as you'd expect, because, I beat him a fair bit. Against Lexis King, who is the third member of the Patriarchy. But yeah, Jericho beats Lexis King 738 with a code breaker. 67 for Jericho, 68 for Lexis King. So yeah, this match overachieved. And yeah. Nice win for Jericho. After the match, he celebrates. The crowd's going crazy, still cheering on Y2J. But he's jumped by Christian. Christian gets the jump on Jericho. He looks at Dominic and orders Dominic to get into the ring. Dominic looks like he's about to go and get into the ring, but Jericho fights back. He fights Christian back. He locks him into the walls of Jericho. Christian's screaming in pain and tapping on the mat. And Dominic thinks better of it and backs away and leaves as Christian continues to submit like a bitch in the middle of the ring. Jericho stands tall. Hype video for Saturday night's WWE Championship match. We've sort of done everything we can with these two now, And Saturday night it is crunch time. LA Knight, Chad Gable, singles action for the WWE Championship. Of course, Gable retained the championship triple threat match at Backlash. Can he do the same on Saturday night? Or we have a new WWE champion, his name LA Knight. Yeah. Also, confirmed that Logan Paul will be around. He will be about on Saturday night. We don't say he's going to be in LA Knight's corner or against him or anything. We just say that he'll be there, probably on social media. He probably tweets out, I'll be there. I'm Logan Paul, I'm going to be at Bad Blood, etc. But yes, he will be in the house. Then cut backstage, Jericho celebrating his win when he bumps into an old friend, Rey Mysterio. He goes, Chris. He goes, Ray. They sort of shake hands. He goes, listen, good win out there tonight, and I'm sorry about my son. Okay, he's been doing this for a while now, and Jericho goes, hey, listen, I've known Dominic a long time. I love the kid, and I still believe, despite it all, Ray, that you're letting him get in your head. That you're letting him make you think that you're a deadbeat dad when he's not. Christian is a deadbeat. Christian is a dead man. But Dom, that kid, he's still got a hell of a lot inside of him. He just needs the right man to guide him to greatness. And look, I said last week when I came back, I'm not about that life anymore. I'm not here to raise the game of the next generation. I'm here to do my thing one final time, baby. But Ray, despite it all, I still think you could be the man to rescue your son's career. And he walks off, and Ray's like, well, good luck with that. He's a fucking asshole. But yeah, Jericho gives some motivations to Rey Mysterio. Will he be able to get through to the heart, I guess? Undo the lock on the heart of Dominic Mysterio? Who knows? But yeah. 62-rated match. Jade and Jada against Lay Cool. Layla isn't in the mod. Tenchi hasn't got a picture. But, I'd had to use a face more that from a local talent. That's why she's scoring so badly. But yeah, Jada Cargill and Jada Parker pick up the win over Lay Cool. Fun little cameo return match. Obviously, it's not an extended run for any of these divas. It's just a little story arc that they're going on. And we're going to bring them back for random one-off matches on Raw. 55 for Jada, 80 for Jade, 18 for Layla, 41 for Michelle McCool. After the match, Malcolm Bivens, he's over the moon that his girls did it. He grabs the mic and he goes, you see what we just saw out there, huh? Two of the greatest divas of all time. Two of the greatest women's tag team of all time. Dominated. Put in the ground. And what did we learn here, ladies and gentlemen? What we learned is that your heroes, every single one of you, from Chelsea Green all the way down to all of you who got into wrestling because you watched bad reality television, your heroes are only your heroes, and your heroes are only still around and remembered because they didn't have to deal with a woman like Jade Cargill. They didn't have to deal with Miss Parker. These are the evolution of women's wrestling before your very eyes. Two goddesses standing before me, and I'm so proud to call them mine. Chelsea, if you're listening up back there, huh? You thought you were funny starting this with us. You're going to bring all your heroes out. We're going to slaughter every single one of them because we're better than every single one of them. You get me? Good. So Bivens, very bitter about Chelsea Green bringing the Divas out to beat him up last week. And yeah, it appears we have a mini feud on our hands. Malcolm Bivens against the former Divas division. Speaking of tag teams, Kathy Kelly's with Fraxium backstage. She says, Fraxium, you retained your World Tag Team Championships last week in a triple threat tag team match against Path of the Dragon and against Dudley Davis and Pete Dunne. But after that match, you found yourselves in the firing line of Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams of the Nexus. Because that's right, me and my amigo fending off some of the greatest tag teams in WWE history since we've won the championship at WrestleMania. Path of the Dragon, of course, considered the aces by many of this generation of tag teams division. I hear Akira hurt his shoulder in that match. We wish him all the best, and we'd have to run it back with him when he gets back. But as for Mello and Trick, we know those guys. You know, this whole Nexus thing they've got going on here, we could have been a part of that, but we're not, Kathy. You know why we're not? Because we believe in our own success. We believe in our own talents. Sure, we may have had been guided in NXT by Sean and all the other coaches down at the PSC to help make us great. But hey, I was trained by someone even better. Hence, I didn't peak in high school, and I didn't need my old high school teacher to walk me and hold my hand down to the ring to try and make me become world champion here on Raw. We're better than that. We're the best tag team going today, and these championships prove it, Kathy. Mello and Trick, they've had a lot of foolings out in the past. And sure, me and Axiom, we may bicker, but through it all, Fraxium remains fine. And as for these changes, what's next for us? Why don't we show the world what's next for us? At Bad Blood? Trick? Mello? You want to try and get back on the same page, prove that Trick Mello gang is forever and ever? We'll see you there, mate. It's a tag team championship match set for Bad Blood. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams will challenge for the World Tag Team Championships held by Fraxium. Jay White promo. This was filmed backstage after the Steel Cage main event last week on Raw. And it just airs now. And he's stumbling through the hallway. And he finds his locker room. He just gets into his locker room. He sits in the steel chair in his locker room. And he just starts laughing to himself. And he exhaustedly falls off the chair. There is a Jay White promo like this from New Japan that I'm basically copying that bit off. You know, he's laughing to himself. He just falls off the chair and he goes, Cody Rhodes, you may have won this. Congratulations, mate. But I took my toll on you, Cody. I showed the world what the American Nightmare truly all is. And now nobody on Monday Night Raw is going to look at you the same. You see, you're supposed to be the hero of this brand. You're supposed to be the quarterback QB1, you call yourself. But guess what, Cody? Nobody buys your political BS anymore. They know you're only in it for yourself. Hence last week when Seth had to come back and Seth had to guide everybody in this uprising that you tried to guide them in. But don't worry, Cody. You won't have to deal with me anymore, but trust me, there's still a lot on your plate, Cody Rhodes. And I don't envy you. As for me, as for the King Switch, as for Switchblade Jay White, what's next for me? I'm uncertain. But one thing's for sure, whenever I do decide what's next for me, I'll make no mistake letting the world know exactly what it is. And when that does happen, everybody around the world, including here in we're in the Hammerstein, we're in the Manhattan town last week, here in New York, will finally breathe with the Switchblade. Over and out. He sort of just shoves the camera down. So yeah, Jay White, uncertain future, but he knows one thing. He met again, sort of like Neville with Xavier Woods on SmackDown. He lost the feud technically, but he got his wish. He thinks he opened the world's eyes to Cody Rhodes, and we'll see what he means by that, I guess. 86 rated match. We'll take that. Sure. Adam Cole, baby, in action against Ludwig Kaiser. Over the past 3 weeks, Gunther has defeated the Undisputed Era members. So I guess tonight it's the turn of Adam Cole to beat Ludwig. Beats him in the last shot in 13-12. 90 for Adam Cole. 79 for Ludwig Kaiser. Nice little match here between the two men. And Adam Cole is celebrating. He goes, Adam Cole, baby. Then Gunther's music cuts him off. And he goes, congrats, Adam. Ludwig gave you a hell of a fight. But here is the thing. As great as Ludwig may be, as great as Imperium are, Ludwig is not the Ring General. You see, you like to think that you and I are on the same level. Why don't you ask Kyle O'Reilly? Why don't you ask Roderick Strong, Bobby Fish, if you and I are on the same level? Because I destroyed every single one of them, and you were too scared to face me, that you fought Ludwig instead. So no more running at him. You've beaten my guy, I've beaten your guys. It's time to see who the real man is in this ring. Adam Cole goes, well, listen, good Gunther. There's one thing that is sure, I don't think you and I are on the same level. A lot of the times when I come into this ring, I say, yeah, I'm above that guy, but everybody says it about you, and because it's true. You're the man. They don't call you the Ring General for nothing. That's not a nickname that gets handed out to anybody. Well, guess what? Neither is Adam Cole, baby. Neither is the status of being the greatest NXT champion in history. Neither is the status of being one of the greatest professional wrestlers in this ring going today. And you may think you are the best, Gunther, but that's fine. Because I know I am. And you can walk around here high and mighty all you want, like you can't be toppled. Well, guess what? They've said that about a lot of people in the past. And Adam Cole, baby, topped them. They said I'd never be world champion. I went over to WCW and I conquered that show, made that show my own. And next week, you're not going to get NXT champion Adam Cole, baby. You're going to get the strongest, best version of Adam Cole, baby, that's ever existed. And he won't be locked in the ring with you. You'll be locked in the ring with him. And Gunther just laughs him off. And then Adam Cole smacks Gunther in the face. And Gunther gets angry. He charges at Adam Cole. Adam Cole pulls the rope down. Gunther goes over the top. He's getting angry. He throws his jacket on the floor, but Ludwig calms it down and goes, no, just beat him up next week. It's fine. But yeah, Adam Cole and Gunther finally 1-on-1 next week here on Raw. Then get a quick backstage segment. Tegan and Piper are backstage, or just Tegan, sorry. And she just got off the phone, and Piper Niven walks in. She goes, "Hey, what was that about?" She goes, "Okay, go find Bobby Roode." And Piper goes, "Why?" He goes, "No, we've had this thing with these unholy union girls for a while now, and we were waiting for our third member." Piper goes, "Yeah?" She goes, "I got her. She's here next week." Piper goes, "Oh, great. You gonna tell me who it is?" And Tegan goes, "I would, but I don't want to, there's cameras all around here. It's better if I don't, but trust me, it's going to be fine. It's going to be great. And next week, she's going to be standing by our side. And we're going to take down that unholy union once and for all." Papa goes, great. Can't wait to meet her. I've met her before. He goes, yeah. And Cobb goes, I can't wait to bump back into her and catch up with all of our history. Dean goes, great. Yeah. And Piper leaves and Tegan sort of just like looks around sort of like nervously. Then cut to Gorilla. Tiffany Stratton is in there with Mariah May. And she goes, listen here. Tonight is about two things. Tonight is about you showing the world what my guidance can do to a professional wrestler. And also, tonight is about me. Because if you win tonight, you show the world that we are going to be the tag team champions and I'm going to be Tiffy Two Belts. And Mariah goes, yeah, that's right, Tiffy. Tonight, I'm going to win this match. Prove to the world why they call me the woman from hell. On Saturday, you and I are going to be the tag team champions. It's going to be so great. You know, we're going to be the prettiest, most glamorous women's tag team champions of all time. Like, have you seen some of the champions of the past had to deal with? You know, look at Cora and Roxy, for one. You know, ugh. Anyway, gag. I'm going to go out for this match right now, and I'll come back celebrating a winner. And then she goes out, and Tiffy's, like, smiling, watching her leave. And we get that Fatal 4-Way coming up next. 64, Jakara damaged her fuck... Why am I getting so many fucking... Like, luckily none of them are serious. Like, damaged neck sounds like, you know, something she can work through. Like, but I will probably rest her after Saturday because it's a neck injury. But I don't think it's going to keep her out of action. It might, actually. You know, maybe we're going to have to make a last-minute change to the pay-per-view card, for all I know, but... Yeah, that tanked the match rating again. But Mariah does pick up the win. She pins Ariana Grace in 9 minutes and 28. 61 for Mariah, 60 for Jakara, 62 for Ariana, 82 for Cora Jade. And yes, if that happens again on Saturday night, regardless of whether Cora or Roxy are involved in the finish, her and Tiffany will become the Women's Tag Team Champions. Yes, I know, Bobby, I see. We then cut back to the men in the Nexus locker room. And Sean goes, right, the ladies, they ain't here right now. You just saw Cora and Roxy out there doing their thing. Lyra, she's gonna go settle a match with her old tag team partner coming up next after she spoke to Bobby about something earlier on tonight. Which leaves us. Seth Rollins came last week. And Seth Rollins made his bed. You know, Seth Rollins, for all his faults, he'll go down in history as one thing. He'll go down in history as the inaugural NXT champion. Something everybody in this room was. And now, it's going to be our great pleasure, Bronson Steiner's great pleasure tonight, to end the career of Seth Rollins. Show him, show Cody, and show everybody back there that wants to fight us what happens when you're against us. And Saturday night, Mello and Trick are going to become the World Tag Team Champs when they face Axiom and Nathan Fraser, two men who could be standing in this very room right now. So if Mello and Trick, you come up short on Saturday night, maybe I'll have to rethink your spots here in this group, because clearly there'll be other NXT guys more suited for the spot. That's when the door just gets booted open and Obafemi storms in. And he goes, did you see what happened out there? And Sean goes, I did. And he goes, who let that guy back here and who let Damian Priest put his hands on me? And Sean goes, listen, Oba, all that matters tonight is that you still have this. If as long as you still have this, we still hold championship gold in this house. Damian Priest, if he wants to write his death sentence, so be it. But tonight, we need you to forget about Damian Priest. Because we need you to be having the same course of action as everybody else in this room. Seth Rollins. And Oba sort of just snarls. But yeah, he appears he will be on the same page. Zack Sabre Jr., Pete Dunne, Dudley Davis, ZSJ's sarcastically clapping. And he goes, way to go! Way to go, boys. The greatest tag team of this generation, they call you. Now, I always thought that was a bit of a weird spin, because you haven't been doing it for that long, okay? And when we came over to Monday Night Raw and I picked a fight on you, I thought we were going to see the greatest tag team of the generation. But then little old Akira goes and hurts himself last week. Or so he says, okay? He's just come back from a long layoff and he's already back on the shelf. That's how dangerous we could be. We may not be standing here tag team championships, but you give a limb to us and we'll take a mile. Myself, Pete, Dudley, British excellence here on Monday Night Raw, whether we've got the championship's gold or not. Sooner or later, they all learn the same lesson. Get in our way, fall down. A2. Yeah, good, because there's some heat here, obviously. There's some lore here. I probably should have put another segment. I think I did mean to, but I obviously forgot and had to cut it for time. But, yeah. Lyra Valkyria against Killer Kelly. Lyra pins Kelly in 11 minutes and 50 for Nightwing. 76 for Lyra, 78 for Kelly. Weird that she outscored Lyra. Lyra is the one with the machine behind her right now. And she got outscored by her own tag team partner. But hey, she picks up the win. And yeah, Lyra, she takes her championship. She stares at the camera. She's like, listen to that, Bailey, her. That's who you want to listen to? You want to listen to her? Or do you want to be on the right side of history? Then come backstage. Seth Rollins. He's, getting his gear on, ready for the main event tonight. And Cody walks in. And Seth and Cody have a little bit of a tense stare down. And Cody goes, Seth, thank you. Thank you for being there last week when we needed you. Because you see, despite everything that we went through at WrestleMania and then beyond, I'd started to lose a little bit of faith in you because it started to seem like maybe Seth Rollins meant more to Seth Rollins than WWE did after all these years of you trying to be the man saving this place from, what's the word, cancer. But last week, Seth, you came through for us. You came through for me. And to that I say, if you need my help, you need me to have your back tonight, I'll be there. And Seth goes, let's make one thing perfectly clear, Cody. As I've been clear the entire time, I'm perfectly fine helping you. I want to end those guys too. But I will not stand by and work with Roman Reigns. And Cody goes, well, they seem to have taken Roman out too, and Roman's not been around, so as far as I'm concerned, Roman Reigns, he's not in it for us. And Seth goes, great. Well then you and anybody else, I'll let you know when I need you. And Seth walks off, and Cody smiles as he watches him leave. And then Cody turns around, look at some people walking in, and it's Ace Austin and Chris Bay. And he goes, gentlemen? He goes, so what did he say? Is he in? And Cody goes, I don't know about in, but it's better to ask for forgiveness them permission. All I want to know is he in? Next week, it was the first show coming off of Bad Blood, and we've got some big stuff set for the show. First and foremost, Adam Cole, Bebe, the Ring General Gunther, one-on-one, finally. They've been beefing basically the entire build to this pay-per-view, because the feud started in that Fatal 4-Way number 1 contenders match that LA Knight won. And next week, they're finally going to settle their score. Adam Cole, Gunther, one-on-one next week on Monday Night Raw. Plus, 2 more divas have answered the call. Beth Phoenix, Natalya back in action on Monday Night Raw. The Divas of Doom team up to face Jade Cargill and Jada Parker. Plus, just 6 days away from their iconic clash, Icon versus Icon. First time ever, last time ever. Hiroshi Tanahashi will be in the building, and him and John Cena will share a ring for the very first time ahead of their Icon v Icon clash at Saturday night's main event, not Saturday night's main event, In Your House, Worlds Collide. And Money in the Bank qualifiers will officially begin, because Money in the Bank is only 3 weeks from Bad Blood. I believe the week after Bad Blood is the Worlds Collide. Then there's a spare Saturday, and then it's Money in the Bank. So yeah, I'm sure Money in the Bank stuff. I don't know the matches yet. We haven't confirmed the matches yet, but I'm sure there will be Money in the Bank qualifiers next week on Monday Night Raw. Plus, the final match confirmed for Bad Blood. It is from the Raw side, and it will be for the World Tag Team Championships. The champions Fraxium defend their championship against Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. And it has now been confirmed from the office of Bobby Roode that all other Nexus members will be banned from ringside for that match. If a member of the Nexus shows their face at ringside, they will be fired. But yes, Fraxium, Trick Williams, and Carmelo Hayes next week on Raw, this Saturday at Bad Blood. Then see Lyra, she cuts backstage. She goes, yeah, I taught Kelly a lesson, okay? I wish she'd stop getting in my business, okay? It's really weird that she doesn't let me go. And she goes, you think that's bad? Cora lost her Fatal 4-Way match tonight. She goes, listen, I didn't lose it, okay? I just didn't win it. And Lyra goes, yeah, to be honest, it's been a stressful night to forget it. But hey, the boys gotta take care of their business, so it's time for us to just leave and get out of here. And they go to leave, and they go into the parking lot. And, Lyra just sort of yapping. When we see Cora and Roxy sort of, notice something in the background. And, Roxy knows it first, taps Cora on the shoulder, points at something off screen. And Cora, sees it and knows what it is as well. And Lyra backs up and, sort of looks at it, goes, what are we looking at? And Cora and Roxy go, we need to find Sean. Quickly. And they rush back in. And Lyra goes, why? What is that? Is that a car? 91. We'll take that. DQ finish. Hey ho. Que sera sera. All that. Seth Rollins and Bronson Steiner. Obviously, I'm not going to give away a winner here for this match on a Raw. It goes 40 minutes and 40. When Ethan Page appears, he goes low on Seth Rollins. Boo! Echo around Chicago. As the Nexus, they had one mission, and that's to wipe out Seth Rollins. And they're going to attack Seth once again. Ethan Page delivering Twisted Grin to Seth Rollins. Shawn Michaels out there dictating traffic. Obafemi rushes out. Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes rush out. Cody's music hits. He storms out with a steel chair in hand. Ace Austin and Chris Bay by his side. Damian Priest and Buddy Murphy by his side too. The other Church of Rollins guys out there. And it's 6v6, I believe, technically, because it's Cody, Seth, Priest, Buddy, Ace Austin, and Chris Bay against the 6 Nexus guys. And yeah, so that they will sort of even off, and then eventually Cody and Seth are looking to work on Bron Breakker, and that's when Shawn Michaels gets into the ring. He goes low on Cody Rhodes, and Bronson Steiner spears Cody Rhodes. And now Shawn has given his team the numbers advantage. Oh, wait, no, it's 6 with Shawn, isn't it? Because it's, Bronson, Oba, Mello, Trick, Ethan. Yeah, so Ignore all of that, okay? He gets involved and is the neutralizer. I guess Obafemi can take out 2 men by himself. And, Sean's in the ring. He goes low on Cody Rhodes. Oh, Bronson Steiner spears Cody Rhodes. And then Seth, he gets to his feet. He sort of looks around. And he realizes he's a bit fucked, but he's going to continue fighting anyway. He starts throwing hands at Bronson Steiner. Bronson Steiner spears Seth Rollins again. And he goes to leave, and Sean's like, no, get him up. Get him up. He stands Sean up. Bronson Steiner has Seth Rollins in his hands. And Sean's in the corner. He's tuning up the band. When the girls rush out. And they sort of get Sean's attention. He goes, what's so important that you need to tell me right now, huh? The crowd is sort of stirring at this point. They feel like they know what's going on. And he sort of stops. And he goes, okay, that's fine. And he just turns around. He continues to tune up the band. When out comes CM Punk. He storms to the ring with a steel chair. Imagine one of them, probably Ethan Page, stooges for him. He meets him on the ramp. Punk takes a steel chair to the midsection of Ethan Page, takes it to the back of Ethan Page. He gets into the ring. And he goes face to face with Bronson Steiner. He starts throwing hands. Bronson Steiner starts throwing hands back at him. He ducks underneath Punk's clothesline, goes to spear him. Punk gets the knee up. He gets Bronson Steiner up for a GTS. He GTS's Bronson Steiner. He turns around. Sean goes for the super kick. Punk catches it. And he goes to pick Sean up on his shoulders for the GTS as well. That's when the girls sort of rush into the ring and pull him off Punk's shoulders and scurry away through the crowd. Crowd's going crazy. CM Punk, CM Punk, CM. He grabs the microphone. He goes, before I was ever CM Punk, I was just a punk rock kid from Chicago. My entire life has been with my back against the wall, fighting everybody. I was born with a cord around my neck. People have been trying to kill me since the day I was born. Nobody has been man enough to do it yet. Bronson Steiner, it sure as hell ain't you. You come into my house, my arena, my city, my people. And you do this to everybody you put your hands on, and it's my job to deal with this because this is my Frankenstein's monster. And let me get one thing perfectly clear. You may be my Frankenstein's monster, but you got nothing compared to the monster that you've created, because I stand by the motto, cure the poison, fuck the system. But right now, you boys, you sure ain't the cure. Right now, you are no longer the antidote. You are the poison. And CM Punk is the cure. We all bleed Chicago. You come to my town and we'll run your bitch asses out straight back to where you belong. Chicago crowd going mental. CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk. Cody Rhodes is getting to his feet, as this happens, as Punk's celebrating with the crowd. And Cody and Punk, they sort of bump into each other. They sort of have a tense stare down. And Cody Rhodes, just like he did with Seth, he smiles. And he offers a handshake out to CM Punk. Punk looks back down at it. He chuckles. He shakes Cody's hands, and him and Cody have a quick hug. And then, Punk leaves the ring to celebrate back with his people, on the ramp. Meanwhile, Seth, he sees this in the background. I imagine that the shot is Cody's on his feet, sort of watching Punk leave. And like we see behind him, Seth sort of like in the corner, like on his, he's like sort of scratching down the corner getting to his feet, looking disgusted at what he's just seen. And he gets into kick, goes, "Hey!" He turns Cody around, and like the music stops, and the crowd's going, "Ooh." He goes, "What the hell is that? Huh? What the hell is he doing here?" Cody goes, "Like you said, you didn't want to work with Roman Reigns. Nobody knows those guys better than he does, Seth. You're gonna have to put your ego aside, check it at the door. Because this is bigger than you." Seth goes, "Okay, this is bigger than me. You're bringing snakes into the garden. Okay? This isn't bigger than me. I'm the one who's got to fix this like I had to fix it last time." And Cody just goes, "Yeah. Because you did so well at that, didn't you, Seth?" And he walks off. And Seth, he's pissed the fuck off. And Priest and Buddy Murphy get into the ring. They sort of like stop Seth, like, hey, try and calm him down. But yeah, Punk back. And that's a live grenade thrown into the babyface side of things here. Because, oh boy, is there a lot of history there. But Cody, very forgiving man. Some would call him stupid. But... the hype of Punk being on your side in Chicago is too much for any man to ignore. 92. Sure, we'll take that. We might as well as Q4 of the show. Very go-home show episode-y here tonight. With the video packages and stuff. And, the only big angle, really, having to be the Punk stuff, which is also a nice cliffhanger for next week. Even though we have a pay-per-view this Saturday, which won't feature a Punk on it. But yeah, I'll see you on the other side for Heat. Heat kicks off with a tag team match. The Unholy Union against Kendall Gray and Ren Sinclair. Just to get Alba and Iona a nice little win. Because they're going to be in action on Raw next week against Tegan Piper and her third. So, yeah. Give them a nice win here. 87 for Alba, 74 for Iona, 52 for Ren Sinclair, 28 for Kendall Gray. NXT people on tonight, I just want to sort of, get them a nice little pop boost, with Kendall, obviously. Want to see how she can grow, maybe. And, yeah. Ren Sinclair, obviously. We've seen her about, she's been a Renvestigator, whatever it was, Renterrogator, that's it, on SmackDown. But she's still technically an NXT wrestler. But yeah, nice win for Alba and Iona. Blair Davenport gets into the ring after the match. He grabs the mic. He goes, "So, I hear my old friends Tegan and Piper have found their third lucky girl." Tegan has found her third lucky girl and isn't even telling her best friend who it is. That seems rather, strange and suspicious. But oh well. What do I know? That's strange and suspicious. All I know is it's another lamb to the slaughter next week. You don't know who it is, Tegan, Piper. You bring whoever you want, and we'll take care of them just like we take care of you too. Got it? Good. 6-woman tag team match. Liv and Blizzard. They weren't on Raw this week, so we'll give them a nice win on on Heat. Liv pins Persephone with the Oblivion. It's Alexa, Thea, and Liv against Carmen Petrovic, Zarya, and Persephone. 51 for Persephone, 44 for Zarya, 42 for Carmen, 76 for Alexa, 60 for Thea, 74 for Liv. Yeah, nice win for them, and, nice, hopefully, little pop boost and, trial to see how these are getting on. But yeah, nice little win for Liv and Blizzard. It's been a very Raw-centric episode of I keep calling it Velocity. Episode of Heat this week. And, there's another Raw girl in action up next, because we cut backstage to a video earlier on in the night. Roxy and Cora, after the events of the main event, storming into the women's locker room, where Hayden Willis, Arisa Nakajima, Lash Legend, and Rosie Riley are. Two of the teams they'll face at Worlds Collide. And who are these, okay? Who are these girls in my locker room? Okay, our locker room. Who invited these girls? And last episode goes, oh, Roxy. Okay, you know damn well who I am, who we are, because I'm Lash Legend, the bougie bully, and I threw you around in NXT, and I'm going to throw you around again next weekend at Worlds Collide. And I'm going to take those women's tag team championships back to NXT. Wes goes, oh, right, you're the Worlds Collide girls. Well, listen here, you've caught me on a bad time, because we've had a very stressful night, and Cora has already wrestled, Lyra, she's already wrestled, but I could do with a match right now, and one of you four would be great. So, whichever one of you wants to step up, take a swing. And it's Arisa Nakajima who steps up, and they get a 79. Yeah, I figured she'd score the best, because Japanese women's wrestler tax, and this being TEW. But Roxy does win. Pop Rocks in 10:51. 92 for Roxy. 92 for Roxy. This is a singles match on a B show, by the way. Okay, noted. 66 for Arisa. And yeah, Roxy with the win. Here on Velocity. Our main event isn't as good, but it is two main roster women. JC Jane defeats Carmella with a rolling elbow in 11:21. 67 for both women. Sure. And yeah, 67 for the... hold on. I've just noticed. This is episode 167. Okay. They both scored 6-7. The wrestling ring was a 6-7, and the crowd ring was a 6-7. 6-7! Show gets a 73. That's more than you for of the show, mainly of Raw. And I'll see you next time for ECW, their go-home show for Bad Blood. See you then.